Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It is Friday night and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. It is Friday night. I'm in a pretty good mood tonight. I think that this one's going to be a lot of fun. Shout out to Rome Dog who just entered the chat. Um, so I didn't want to go like really crazy tonight. I just wanted to like keep it low key and just relax and have a good time, chat with my friends. So I think what I'm going to do, I was kind of inspired by my cat staring out the window. We had recently got some snow. This was the other day. And the cat was staring out the window, watching some birds out of the bird feeder. So I thought, my cat's had a rough time this year. I thought I would draw my cat staring out the window. It'd be kind of like a little bit of a wintry scene. I don't know how much of it's gonna come through. Obviously, all the winter is happening outside. So I'm gonna try to make it look a little bit wintry, but we'll see how it goes. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm working on tonight. I don't know how long it'll take. Maybe it'll be a shorter one, but we'll see, and we'll just have some fun. So if that's something you guys are interested in, please feel free to hang out in the chat, and we'll have a good time. All right. So let me go here. All right, cool. So I kind of already figured out a little bit where I want the cat to be. I kind of like made some really light sketch lines. I kind of want the cat to be kind of down here in the lower. Um, lower half and off to the side, rule of thirds kind of deal. And then I kind of want this window to be like, he's just sitting on the shelf. In my house, I actually have a couch up against the window, but I'm not going to try to do a couch. I'm just going to have him sitting on a shelf, looking out, or like windowsill, sorry, looking out the window. And again, I don't know how much of a wintry scene I can make back here. I'm going to go really subtle on that because like winter things get fogged up and stuff. You don't really see much out the window anyway. So that's what I'm going to try to do. So I'm going to start with like this soft brush I've got. So like I've got this like it's a makeup brush, and I'm going to use it to like apply some charcoal powder. And this is how, and I think I'm just going to kind of like streak it down like this, kind of like it would be if you were looking out a window. And I'm going to start with that. Kind of like a smoky look. And then we'll build on top of this for our window. I think maybe I'll have like a tree out there with some branches on it and stuff. Wintertime, guys. You guys know what winter looks like. Well, some of you guys may not. Maybe you live in, like Los Angeles or something. They don't have seasons there, but here in Kentucky, we do have some winters. And they the winters around here can be like, I don't know, they can be kind of like soggy messes, where it just rains all the time. But every now and then we do get snow. Usually we don't get snow around Christmas, which is disappointing. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we get snow as early as Halloween, and it snowed at Halloween in the past. But usually our winter months are January and February. It gets really bitter cold. Um, it gets really bitter cold, and we start seeing snow at that time. But yeah, so really just soft kind of tone here, just to kind of tone this up a little bit. Maybe I'll get like a little more aggressive with it. Yeah. All right, cool. And if I need to, I'll come back and add some more later on. I just kind of wanted to get that going. All right. So now I'm going to kind of move in and start giving some like body to my cat. Um, uh, I'm gonna like mess with this a lot. I just want to get the form in here. In fact, I don't even need this to do that. I can use one of these little charcoal sticks. This one's a let's see. This one should be good just to get some stuff in there. Just gonna figure out where the cat might be. Yeah, I'm gonna use a pencil instead. That's probably better. Kind of sketch in the cat. His ears would be up here. It's gonna look rough at first. It'll start looking better over time, but you guys know the drill. So Rumdoc, how you doing, man? Hopefully you guys are really getting into the holiday spirit. I'm looking forward to it. I've got some Christmas shopping to do this weekend. That's my plan for this weekend. Last week is just I didn't get anything done. I was I may have mentioned before that, well, I did mention before that I was caring for a sick loved one, so I did not get a chance to do anything like the entire week last week. So this week, and I'm gonna try to get some shopping in. Finally got the move done. Nice. Congratulations on that. Yeah, moving sucks. I've had to do it many times in my life. I mean, I'm not the youngest guy in the world. Um, not the oldest guy either, but yeah, I've moved a time or two. It always sucks. And I'm kind of like I don't know how other people are, but like when I'm moving out of an apartment, um, I want to get my deposit back, but it's not just trying to get my deposit back. I'm trying to leave things the way I found them. So I'm pretty methodical about moving. Actually, I move everything into one room, like usually the living room, heading out the door, and then I spend weeks cleaning each of the rooms. So it's not just moving for me; it's like a deep clean and stuff. Just because I feel bad for the landlord. Now I own my house now, so I don't have to worry about that so much anymore. But yeah, definitely when I was renting, it was I always felt bad just leaving the place a disaster. Yeah, it was worse back when I smoked. Like when I was a younger guy, I used to smoke, and I always felt bad, like just leaving the walls unpainted because you know how I mean you know how smoke is. It kind of builds up and stains the walls and stuff like that. It is a nasty habit. Anybody out there who's a smoker, quit that stuff. You don't need it. But yeah, I mean I smoked when I was younger, and I didn't like the idea of like leaving the walls unpainted and stained and all of that stuff. So I kind of did my part to make it better. One time, because I have pets and stuff, and pets kind of are a little bit me like I learned my lesson. So like all I don't have any carpet in my house anymore. It is all like hardwood or laminate, depending on like what part of my house you're in. Um, because like oh man, pets just tear up carpet. Even if like they're not puppies and they don't like make bad messes and stuff like that, and I'm talking about cats too, they still tear it up. So yeah, I actually replaced the carpet in one of the places I lived one time just because I felt bad for the landlord. Now one of these days I'll actually rent out a place. Um, maybe when I go moving next time or something, I'll rent out this place or something, and then all that bad karma will come back on me. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, I'm so happy that you're moving done. I know that that was a bit of a stress for you, so congratulations there, man. Where is everybody tonight? It's Friday. Like nobody's around. I guess people are doing the holiday bit. Let me make sure I'm at the right time. I just wanted to double check. All right, so I'm gonna smudge this guy out. I kind of figure out. I kind of know where I want. Let me go ahead and put the tail in because I want to make sure that I get that in there. It's kind of scratching this stuff in here. Christmas shopping, yeah. I'm gonna keep it cheap this year. I'm gonna give everybody like gift cards. Like, whoever came up with gift cards, man, that guy's a genius. Or that girl, whoever came up with it. Because like you can never fully spend a gift card, right? So like yeah, say you get like a $50 gift card or something like that. Somebody was generous to you, they give you a $50 gift card for like a restaurant or something. There is no way you can spend exactly $50. So that extra money, um, if you ever seen Superman 3 or Office Space where there's that little bit of money left over, that's going in somebody's bank account. Somebody owns that money that you can't spend. Now, theoretically, you could load up the card with more money, but that's genius too. They get you that way too. And it's like, you know, I don't know. I'm not too impressed with gift cards. Gift cards are cool, like if you're giving a gift to a coworker or like a boss or something like that, or somebody you know but not very well, like not somebody that like if you know somebody very well, you should probably give them a gift from like that you put a lot of thought into or something like that. That's the way I think of it. But otherwise, there's nothing wrong with gift cards. I give them to people. Yeah, that integer. Yeah, exactly. So integers are whole numbers. So like, I hate to nerd out on you, but when you're a programmer, these things matter. So an integer is a whole number, uh, and you can have plus integers and you can have negative integers, but they're whole numbers. So if you're using, like a percentage or something like that, like it has to be like a decimal or a double or some other kind of data type. Integers must be whole numbers. Yeah. I should do some programming stuff on here. I don't know. You guys are here for the art. Maybe I'll start another channel for programming stuff. I do enjoy programming. It's a lot of fun. I do get super nerdy about that kind of stuff. I've been doing it for so long. I first started building like websites, just the HTML, not really programming, as early as like 1999. That far back. I mean, I was still a pretty young man at the time, and yeah, I used to just build like little static websites, little HTML websites and stuff like that. And then I needed I needed to do something with the website. Like I needed to like send an email, for example, or process some sort of form. So then I like way back then I learned no, not even PHP, sorry, Perl at that time. At that time it was Perl, um, which you know there's probably some application out there still running on Perl, but I doubt it. It's probably broke by now. So I learned Perl, and then I learned Visual Basic just because the guy I kind of not mentored, sorry, interned at a place um, where this guy he was just like a marketing genius and stuff. I learned a lot from that guy, uh, but he dabbled in Visual Basic, and so I kind of learned a little bit of Visual Basic too, and that's kind of like the programming language I used for the longest time. And then I got a job working at a place that was primarily C sharp. Well, they worked in Visual Basic, but the project they put me on was C sharp, so I kind of had to learn C sharp pretty quick. And I love it. I love C sharp. C sharp is the best. Uh, there's like a lot of other programming languages out there, but I love C sharp. Lately I've been learning Python just because I needed to for like different projects and stuff like that, and I'm enjoying that a little bit. But C sharp has my heart. I'm a C sharp evangelist. I love C sharp. I just like the ubiquity of C sharp. Like I'm using C sharp to build websites. I'm using C sharp to build backend APIs. I'm using C sharp to uh, to build mobile apps. Um, I currently have two projects that are mobile apps and stuff, and I'm using all C sharp for that. To build cross-platform too. I'm building uh, like a C sharp app for both Android and also iOS, and also Windows and Mac too, like its desktop versions. So, I mean, I think that's kind of cool that you can use the same technology to build out all these different places. Like my philosophy when it comes to that, like I don't even know how I got on this topic, but let's have fun. We'll talk about it. Um, my philosophy when it comes to programming and picking the platform that you want to deliver to is let people consume the application however they want to. So your job is to build out a very awesome backend. Um, build out a very awesome API that your applications can deal with, and then the way that the people consume them, whether it's iOS, Android, Windows, Mac, web, those are all just presentation layers. Those are all layers for dealing with your application. But the logic and everything is in the application itself. So you can swap out presentation layers. So like if you do most of your work in the API, sorry, I keep burping up pizza too. This is like I'm having a lot of trouble talking tonight. Um, But yeah, if you can put all your logic and stuff into the API, then you're the front end of the site is just, or the front end of the application, whether it's a web app or not, is just consuming that API. So it's a way to develop that I wish I had known like in the beginning, but it is a way to build like everywhere all at once, and you know, really save yourself some headaches. And then also like you can make your application look the same across all these different platforms. It's very nice. It's got all that brand consistency to it. I'm just having fun here, like kind of yeah, yeah, modular. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I look at it like different layers. So like you have like your layer for like business logic. You have your layer for presentation. They have different concerns, so they are not going to be the same. Um, like it's the same data, it's the same backend infrastructure and everything, but you have different purposes. So like you might have somebody who's like an administrator using your app and stuff. So like their presentation is going to be different than like a general consumer, and so on. So it's just separating out concerns. So he's sitting on a shelf. So I actually want this to be super dark. I want this to be really dark. So I'm going to use the soft. So the softer your charcoal is, the darker it's going to be. So I want this to be pretty dark down here. Not like completely dark or anything like that, but I want that picture to kind of like anchor you down here. I don't know how rough this is going to look. I'm not used to doing like these full on scenes, but I think we're gonna be okay here. I did kind of want to use this little cheat here just to make sure my lines are straight. Because like whenever you're dealing with something like architecture, you kind of want your lines to be straight. And you can use these things. This isn't cheating, I don't think. I wouldn't consider this cheating. Let's see. Yeah. So you also have to get that perspective in there. So like these lines aren't going to be perfectly straight. So you see how these kind of come down and then this comes down. So hey, my dad's in here. How's it going, Ernest? If that is your real name. He actually goes by Ernie. I don't know why he's so formal in here. I guess it's just his Google account, but yeah, he goes by Ernie in real life. I told him I'm gonna invite him on the show next week. I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll do something holiday themed, I'm sure. But yeah, that's my pops. Our freezing fig just left a day ago. Um, Beautiful but dangerous. Yeah, that is your real name. That is his real name. That's his legal name, Ernest. But he goes by Ernie. Yeah, we're all friends here. I'll just give you a social. I'll give you everything like his date of birth, his mother's maiden name, all that stuff. Guys can find some use for that, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing the programming thing for quite some time. I it's not as attractive to me as it used to be. I used to be like such a nerd for it, like so passionate, enthusiastic about it, almost like I am with drawing and things like that. But I've been doing it so long that even though I'm still really, really into it, like I really, really enjoy building solutions for people and solving problems for people, and because that's really what programming is all about. Um, the actual like work of it feels like work now. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like art like it did in the beginning. Like in the beginning, yeah, that's my that's my nickname. Uh, my nickname is Germ, and one of the reasons why is because my grandfather apparently couldn't pronounce Jeremy, so he kept saying Germany. So somehow I got stuck with the nickname of Germ. But yeah, thanks, Dad, for telling everybody that. I appreciate it. Told my dad I'm gonna have to watch what he says when he comes on the show. I don't want him. I don't want to get him like I don't want him to get me canceled, or I don't want him getting canceled or any of that stuff. he's got strong opinions. So like now that he's older, he he's got a lot of opinions about like waiters and you know people at Walmart, and it's kind of fun to watch. I like to give him a hard time. He likes to give me a hard time. And it's just the way like all us boys I have. So in addition to my dad, I have two brothers, um, no sisters. So it's just a bunch of boys, and we like to give each other grief all the time. Like we were my younger brother lives in Maryland, so I don't get to see him as often. But my older brother, yeah, I like to pick on him, and he likes to pick on me. I like to pick on him mostly because he's got so many kids. So, like that's always fun to pick on him about, and he's also older, so I get to pick on him about his age. But mostly the kids, like I was like, "Are you done yet?" And he's like, "I don't know if I'm done yet." It's like, well, you need to be done. So I know this still looks rough, but hopefully we can get some details in here and kind of like make it less blurry or less undefined. So I did kind of want come back to that. I did kind of want this window to go all the way up. Get that again. I don't think there's any prohibition against using rulers just to create like a straight line. I could probably muster up a straight line, but then also like why? We're just having fun. And I kind of wanted a bar to go across here, somewhere around here. And I think this would be slightly, it would be parallel to this, but because, we're mimicking a camera, it would be slightly like this. Hey, we got Willie in the house. How's it going, Willie? Willy nilly. And then kind of, I think I want the bar to be kind of like that. Not as thick as this. Kind of just, I don't even think they make windows like this anymore. This is just like an old school kind of like window or something like that. All right, so I think all the architecture is there now. So we can build off of that. So, no, no, not quite. Sorry, I want this side over here to kind of like be framed in, literally framed in. Kind of keep that about like that. So we kind of want this to come down like this. And then I think this would kind of cut off like around here as well. So yeah, sorry. We'll get there. Sorry, I'm putting my hands all up in the space here. All right, so that yeah, I kind of wanted this framed in. So down here, this should not stop here. This should actually come across. So I'm gonna work on that. Doing great. I'm actually in a great mood today. Not really a great mood. I'm in a good enough mood. I'm in a mood. There was a little bit of sunshine out. Like it's been so dreary lately. Things haven't really been all that great in my personal life with having to deal with sick family members, things like that. But today the sun got out. There was a little bit of blue sky out there. Um, and it's cold, but it wasn't too cold. There's probably like people in like other parts of the country like, oh, it's bitter cold out there. What are you talking about, Jeremy? Yeah, here in Kentucky, we usually have mild-ish winters. Like it doesn't get really rough until like January and February, and then we get down into like the teens and sometimes like even colder. But December, it has been in the past. It's been warm enough to go kayaking in December. Not this year. Like, well, the other day was 60 degrees actually. So yeah, even this year. Right now it's not 60 degrees. Right now it's pretty cold, but it has been that warm around here. But it seems like I'm always busy whenever it's nice out. Like if it's nice and sunny or if there's like blue skies out and stuff, that's the day that I have like a deadline coming up and I have to be at my chair at my computer, just looking out the window at the world and stuff, and just like watching it pass me by, and I'm like, oh man, that's the way of it though. That's okay. I've had good days. I can just remember and stuff when things are bad. Like if it's bad weather out, I can remember the good days and rely on that. And oh, Ernie, yeah, Ernie did make some eggnog today, didn't he? He's rather proud of himself for doing that. I tried some. It's pretty good. I'm just gonna use my fingers here. Like, all right. So we kind of got the frame now. So like, I don't know how much more development I'm gonna do over here, but on this side, I kind of want like a curtain to kind of come down. So I want this to kind of come up and be like one of those semi-transparent curtains where we just have, you know, a little bit of gray kind of on this side. So like on this side, we got like a full-on wall. Over here, we've got kind of like a curtain. All right. So from there, I guess I should probably start developing this a little bit with some detail. Um, one more thing here. For that kind of a place to end. Reminds me, I gotta buy Dad some eggnog. So like, I think not everybody's into like boozy eggnog, but I feel like the best eggnog does have booze in it. And we were debating today what kind of booze. So like, not everybody's into bourbon. Um, so like some people do like whiskey. I was looking at some recipes today, and one of them called for brandy, and I guess that's the thing. I don't think I've ever had brandy in my entire life. Like, I know that that's like a gentleman's drink from back in the day. Um, like you hear about people retiring to the study for a glass of brandy, like on the Titanic or something as it's sinking. Um, I don't think I've ever had brandy. So for me, it would definitely be bourbon. I think bourbon goes really well inside of eggnog. But I've also heard of people doing like rum and like just plain old whiskey. There is a difference between bourbon and regular whiskey. Um, but yeah, it's like I guess there's like a lot of variety and you just pick which one you want. But the brandy thing, I don't know. I'm gonna have to get some brandy at some point just to try it, just to see what the deal is on that. Cause like maybe that does go well in in eggnog. I don't know, but I do love me some eggnog. Eggnog's the best. I know it's not for everybody. Like it's some people can't get over the texture of it. It's kind of a thick drink. Um, that's not for everybody. So I'm kind of smoothing this out because this is kind of like Lost in Shadows. This is probably the most defined piece here. Everything else is kind of rough. But now that we've got everything kind of laid out, I think it'll start coming together. We're only like a half hour into this, and I didn't think this would take very long, um, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm just kind of like rubbing my finger on the charcoal here. I'm using my finger as a brush. I want that to definitely look like a curtain. I don't know if it does, but that's the goal here. All right. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not happy with this. Let me see if I can get if I can get some smoothness going here. Yeah. All right. Let's try that. Just using a brush to kind of smooth this out because it looks a little rough. Liquid egg custard with alcohol. What is a red liquor? Red liquor. Ew. I don't know what red liquor is. There's a port. Maybe that's what you're talking about. I don't know. Like I said, I've never had brandy. Maybe you're talking about brandy. Maybe that is the red liquor. I don't know. There you go. All right, let's go back to the kitty. I really want the kitty to look good. All right, so got this guy roughed in pretty well. There is I'm just using a really soft charcoal to like get these like little dark marks because he is somewhat backlit, like the light is coming through the window. So for the most part, this will be the darkest part of the kitty, but it's not all dark. You want to kind of layer it because he's got clumps of fur in the back, and he's also kind of small compared to some of the other things I draw. So it's kind of hard to get like major details in here. So you kind of have to like you have to kind of suggest details without like being completely explicit about it. So if you want to show that this is inspired by my cat, and my cat has a little bit clumpy fur. He's not um, since he's been sick. He's doing way better now, but since he's been sick, he has not been cleaning himself as well as he should. So he does have kind of like some clumpy fur and everything. So I'm gonna try to capture that in this. I mean, he's not like gross or anything like that, but he's taken better care of himself in the past. But I'm just happy he's still around. Had some sort of liver damage. He actually had um oh what's it called? Crap, it's on the tip of my tongue, but he had jaundice. That's it, where the skin turns yellow and stuff. So like the inside of his ears, his nose, and his like around his lips were yellow, and we're it's kind of yellow in here all the time anyway. So I didn't really notice, and I kind of really feel bad about that because like when I took him to the vet noticed right away, and of course in the vet office it's obvious. Um, but no, I feel bad because it was a while before. Like I knew that he was sick, but I didn't know how bad he was sick. But anyway, he's on the mend now, so it's all good. Cognac. Yeah. That's a red um liquor. Yeah. Sorry. Words escape me sometimes because I have been drinking. This is my first glass. So really dark fur back here. And I wanted to kind of blend in a little bit with the wood of the shelf here. So kind of like lose a little bit of that hard line. Have it just kind of go into the wood, and then, you know, obviously his tail comes around. I want that to be nice and thick as well, but I want that to kind of go this way. So you have to be a little bit careful with your lines and the direction of your lines when drawing fur, because I kind of want it to follow the fur. But yeah, it's got to really press down hard. Even though this is like soft charcoal, got to like really dig in there uh, just to make sure that it all looks well. Amaretto. Yeah, there we go. That probably would work with eggnog. I don't know. I'm just spoiled, I guess, with bourbon. Like I really think that eggnog pairs well. Like just the egg flavor, the sweetness of it, the the texture of it, all of that goes well with bourbon. So like I'm kind of spoiled from that front. But yeah, I guess any kind of like liquor that goes well with something sweet would work. Um, I'm pretty sure I've had rum based eggnog before just because I know some people who like the whole island lifestyle. They fancy themselves Jamaican and into Jamaican type drinks. So they are really into their rum. So I'm pretty sure they have given me eggnog that is rum based. I haven't ever really made eggnog either. Like my dad made eggnog today, but I'm gonna end up with charcoal all over my face just because I'm scratching myself. Um, but I have never made eggnog myself. I just go and buy eggnog. And here's the thing, like it is absolutely essential that I have eggnog every Christmas. I may have told this story before, but I'll tell it again. As part of my Christmas traditions, on Christmas Eve, I go around, I drive around and look at all the Christmas lights with family. And once we're done looking at all the Christmas lights, like and I'm talking about the Christmas lights that people put on their houses and stuff like that. I figure if they're gonna put them up, the least we can do is go around and look at them. And so we go to like basically every neighborhood that we can think of to look at these Christmas lights. It's a lot of fun, and that's our Christmas Eve. And we'll probably like drink coffee or hot chocolate or something like that while we're doing that. But when we get back, uh, that's when I have eggnog. And then, so this is on Christmas Eve. So we get back, we have eggnog, and then we open our gifts. And well, we open our like gifts and stuff. We usually try to save some for Christmas Day and call that like from Santa. But anyway, so that's a tradition for me. So I always have to do that. So eggnog's a big piece of that tradition because like if um if there's no eggnog, then I feel like I failed or something like that. So the problem is I don't always remember to buy eggnog, and I'm just forgetful and things slip my mind and so on. Oh, a couple of people in the room. So real quick, shout out to MJ, and because I can, I'll just call him BIC. Appreciate you guys showing up. Hopefully, you guys are having a great Thursday evening. We are drawing a cat looking out a window, kind of like as part of a winter scene. Hopefully, like we'll see how it goes. Um, it's taking a little bit longer than I thought it would, but we'll keep it going. So anyway, yeah. So the problem is sometimes I forget to buy eggnog, and then what I what I found is that if you go looking for eggnog on Christmas Eve, you're out of luck. There is no such place. They're either all sold out, or or they never had it, or whatever. I have had to jump through all kinds of hoops to find eggnog on Christmas Eve before. Like I have gone to gas stations looking for eggnog, and sometimes that's where I buy the eggnog just because I forgot. But yeah, it is definitely if that's your tradition, like it is mine, I should have the forethought, and you should as well, to buy your eggnog before Christmas Eve because you're probably going to be out of luck. Which is weird because I would think that eggnog is also like a New Year's drink. I would think that they would keep them in stock just for that, but whatever. It's not the case. Store bought eggnog ain't got nothing on grandma's made from scratch. I hear that. I mean, that's a bit basically the case for everything, though. They water down store bought stuff. I just wanted like a little bit of white on its tail there. They always water down the store bought stuff. It's not as good. So my dad's pretty proud of his eggnog that he made today, and I think it's pretty good too. So I'll probably drink that this year. It's got it's got like one full cup of whiskey in it, which it's pretty good. All right, let me define the kitties. So there's like a lost edge here on this tail. I need to make sure that that stays in there. Kind of almost like there's some places where he's like kind of highlighted by the light coming in through the window. So I need to preserve that kind of stuff. I'm using like a medium charcoal pencil here for this part. Some people ask me like what kind of charcoal I use. This is just some cheap charcoal that I bought it. I forget where, but it's that generic. Like I don't even remember where I bought it. I recommend General's charcoal. They make really great pencils. I have some and they're like super good. I just don't use them all that often because like I don't know, I'm cheap and I want to keep them for like the really good stuff that I do, not the experimental. Hey, I want to draw a cat looking out a window kind of thing. And think about this cat looking out the window. It's really a study of like light and shadows, right? So you have the light coming in through the window, you have the cat itself, which is all shadows. A few little highlights on the little guy. Now, some of that store-bought eggnog. So, like, if you're going to get the store-bought eggnog, I do have some recommendations. The Southern Comfort store-bought eggnog is pretty good. It's it's pretty solid, you know. That's usually what I buy whenever I buy the store-bought eggnog, which is like always because I don't make it myself. The only homemade eggnog I ever have is like if somebody else made it. Like I wouldn't trust myself to make eggnog. I would probably really screw it up. Let's see. I want to get some darker areas in here just so that I can have something to contrast against the kitty. Almost give it a like a bit of a halo. Plus, I want to really emphasize that this is a curtain coming down, so I kind of want around the curtain to be darker. I kind of want this all to be dark through here. And I'm using the brush just to quickly get the stuff in, like super soft. And I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. I am going to use some white charcoal, aka pastel, to kind of like see if I can overlay that and just kind of get a bit of a halo going around this kitty. So get some white back up in there. It's not as white as I'd like, so I may use a gel pen instead, but that's good enough for now. All right, so I think it's starting to look like a kitty looking out a window. I'm going to use this to kind of do some highlights through here, kind of lift up some of that. Now, I really should be using a kneaded eraser. I just don't have one right now. Like, I have the bad habit of kind of like kneading that throughout the day, almost like a stress ball. So, um, I am currently without a kneadable eraser. But yeah, it's kind of the same technique. You just lift up some of your charcoal. So again, like up here, I kind of want to create like a separation between the kitty and the seal, the windowsill. So I'm going to darken around the kitty. And the kitty's here, all the way up through here. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And then also through here, darken all of that, and darken through here. So I want all of this to look soft because he's like looking out the window. It's been raining or snowing or something dreary out there. I want all this to be soft. Now I might put some details in there here in a moment just to kind of like separate it out from the paper, but I'm trying to budget the time here because like I want to make sure that I get all this stuff in there. All right. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to use my gel pen here. Actually, sorry. Get this all smoothed out so that I'm not coming back over this later. All right, so now that that kitty's in there, I will use this gel pen. Hopefully this works. To create kind of like a little bit of a white outline around him. Creating kind of like this halo effect. Hopefully that looks good. And then maybe I will kind of reinforce this darker area around him just to kind of like emphasize that effect. So basically I want him kind of a little bit backlit. Because Because I can, grandma sounds better. She used to say it was made from raw eggs and spit. Your grandma sounds awesome. I like grandmas with like a bit of a punch to them. I like that. Raw eggs and spit. My grandma, my granny, before she passed away, she was like that. She was definitely she had a personality for sure. She was very cool. So kind of create this halo effect where it's like backlit. Now I need to blend this in so that it looks like it was naturally there the whole time. And I need to make sure it keeps the contour of the kitty. So I think that looks pretty good. Oh, kitty's sticking his face out. All right, let me see if I can get some whiskers in here. Yeah. So it's like you start off with something that's very smooth and like featureless, and then you start introducing these like these little subtle things, these like little. It's even hard to see on camera how like these whiskers because they are so subtle. But you start introducing these like little subtle effects, and your picture really starts to come together pretty quickly. Bronze. Is that like an eggnog brand? I feel like I've had bronze ice cream. That sounds good. Eggnog ice cream. So like okay, so sometimes I like the flavor of something, but then they put it in everything and I start to lose taste for it. So I've got a couple of examples. So like coffee. I love coffee. I love the taste of coffee. I can't imagine ever not liking coffee. However, coffee flavored stuff, I can't do it. Like coffee flavored ice cream, not my thing. Coffee flavored candy, not my thing. I can't do it. It's I feel the same way. I'm starting to feel the same way. I mean, I still like all things pumpkin spice, but I'm starting to feel the same way about pumpkin spice. It's like you know, pumpkin spice everything is not really all that great. There are some things that are really good as pumpkin spice, and then some things that are just terrible. You should just not do it. And it's kind of hard to figure out where that line is, but you know it when you see it. Again, I would normally be using like a kneaded eraser for this, but I'm stuck using this. What sucks about these things is you have to go through and blow off the excess, but it works. Get those little details into that kitty so that he starts to look like an actual cat. Put in some stripes through here. So this is an orange cat, but like when they're drawn in black and white, you have some darker details in some areas. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're good. I do want to develop more back here. I just want to make sure I got this kitty in here at least. Get some of the details. Again, he's a lot smaller than what I normally draw, so it's a little bit tougher to get the details in. But the details here are just like these masses of shading and light areas and so on. Oh, yeah, sorry. I was talking about different flavors and stuff like that. So yeah, pumpkin spice. Like really, not everything should be pumpkin spice. So I mentioned that because of the eggnog, right? So like they have eggnog flavored stuff, and I love eggnog, but I don't like eggnog flavored stuff. So like I'm not a huge fan of eggnog flavored ice cream, for example. Maybe you guys are into that, maybe you aren't, but I am not a fan. I love eggnog. Not so crazy about eggnog flavored ice cream. And I kind of feel the same way about pumpkin spice ice cream. It's just kind of weird to me, but I can understand pumpkin spice ice cream a little bit better than eggnog ice cream. I like using the eraser as like a pencil. Like you're basically drawing highlights with the eraser. It's a lot of fun. But now we got a pretty well developed cat actually looking out the window, so that's cool. Pretty happy with that. And then you just put in some stripes, but you got to maintain this white edge here. That's that backlit. Like the light is shining through the window, catching the front of the cat, and leaving the back of the cat dark. So even if it's not in your reference photo, you need to create that separation between the background and your subject, which in this case is a cat, um, so that you can create that sense of depth in your picture. So like you want it to be three-dimensional. So even though maybe it's not perfect in my reference picture, I kind of want a little bit darker here around the cat itself, so the cat stands out. Okay. Now I end up with like charcoal all over my hands and stuff because I don't think ahead. And there's probably a way to compose your picture or like use your pencil in a way that you're not ending up with charcoal all over yourself. But I am not that skilled. All right, so I think the cat is looking decent enough that I'm going to focus on the window frame a little bit just because I wanted to get some detail into there. Um, so first off, I wanted to kind of make this a little bit darker here. Yeah. Let me just kind of draw across the paper like this. But yeah, I'm not big on oh, thanks Lorraine, I appreciate that. Thanks MJ. Um I'm not a big fan of eggnog flavored stuff. I kind of want some eggnog. Like as soon as this stream is done, I'm gonna have some eggnog. I love Christmas. Christmas is the best. Hopefully everybody's in the Christmas spirit by now. If you're not, give me the opportunity to cheer you up. Like I know that the holidays suck for some people. Um, it's not like I don't know. It's just it's a sentimental time, and sentimental is not always good. Sometimes sentimental like leads you to places that are sad and kind of a little bit dark, and they're not the best places to be in and stuff like that. But there's also this cheer at Christmas that I would encourage you guys to keep in your heart. That sound like a Scrooge movie, but yeah, there is this thing about Christmas, that you know they put it into the movies and stuff like that, and it seems corny and everything, but it is true. It is true. There is something special about it that I hope that everybody is able to like put a little bit of that in their heart and their minds and just enjoy the season. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect season. Like I've got work I'm doing over the holidays and stuff. That kind of sucks, but it is the time of year that you have to like kind of spend some time for yourself and really enjoy things. The race part looks so good. Thank you. Yeah, it's a challenge. I don't know how something's going to turn out until like I do it. So I'm glad that you think it looks good. Yeah, sometimes the picture is just as much about what's not there as what is there. So, you know, especially in charcoal pictures, like any charcoal tutorial you look at. Now, this is a little bit more than what I would normally do in charcoal. Like, I'm not used to doing a full-on scene like this, but I do like doing them. But I'm not used to doing them. But anyway, like no matter what tutorial you're looking at for like charcoal and stuff, one of the first things that you're going to learn is using the eraser to lift up parts of the picture and create the highlights and so on. Especially like if you're doing like charcoal figure drawing or charcoal portraits, people's faces, smooth objects, things like that. Um, the eraser, and like I said, this is not the right eraser. You should be using like a kneadable eraser, but you use what you got. But the eraser is just as important of a tool as your pencil or your stick or whatever, or your brush in this case, because you end up lifting up um, charcoal and it kind of leaves this neat little stuff behind. So in this case, I want like a little bit of snow across this window um, pane or stick or whatever you, I don't know, whatever you would call that. And in order to do that, I kind of have to create that negative space around it. So that's what I'm doing now. And I want it to be super soft because it is through a window, so it's kind of blurred. But yeah. So now that I have that, then I can come back with my eraser and add, like an inch of snow. And then, snow kind of piles up a little bit, so you don't want it to be like perfectly regular. You want like little humps and stuff. So you build like this little snow bar across a little bit up there. And then, maybe bring that snow up and around here. They really lay into that because snow is white. Get rid of this like little line here, kind of. And this is what sucks. You have to kind of smooth it away with your hand or whatever, but it is what it is. Anyway, so now you got a little bit of snow. Then you kind of come back a little bit with your pencil, kind of define that just a little bit more. So it's like drawing with, I guess, negative space or whatever, or highlights. And it's kind of cool. I like it. It's a great way to make snow on a windowsill, right? And smooth that out. So the three basic tools that you need when like doing a charcoal picture is the charcoal itself, and that can be in pencil form, it can be in like stick form, it can be in what do they call it, vines, charcoal vines and stuff. So you have the charcoal itself. It can be powdered charcoal. Your blending stump, which is for like smoothing things out. This isn't the only way, obviously, to smooth things out. You can use like a brush, your fingers, whatever, to smooth things out. But yeah, so these tools all work together. Drawing Schrodinger's flat. Yes. Yes, that is what we're drawing background. Schrodinger's flat. Yep. If the window's open, the cat survives. Or wait, if the window's closed, the cat survives. If the window's open, the cat does not. And you have to wait until morning to see if the cat is alive or dead. Schrodinger's flat. So again, same deal down here. We want where some of the snow, because this is supposed to be a winter scene. I'm trying to do these winter pictures like over the holiday season. Got 2 more weeks until Christmas. Kind of want these winter scenes. So yeah, I want like a little bit of snow. You can do like a rainy day or something, kind of doing the same way, but if we're gonna do winter, we need to have some accumulated snow, especially here in the corners, So get those things in there and you're all set. Now, I kind of want to do a little bit more in these backgrounds, but looking at the time, I want to make sure that I budget my time well, and gonna work on some of these other areas. So I kind of want this window seal down here to be a little bit darker on this edge. Again, it's still kind of like simple drawing. There's not like a lot to it or anything like that, but it's kind of fun just using lights and shadows and stuff like that to kind of tell a story. I don't know what the story here is. Cat jumps up on the shelf, looking at, or the windowsill, looking out the window. It's not like it's a really, dog's back here scratching himself. It's not like it's a fantastic story or anything like that, but it is a story. It tells it's a mood, like draw a simple picture and just kind of like set a mood. So this is the mood I was in when I watched my cat staring out the window at the birds out of the bird feeder. I'm not going to draw any birds in here, but that's what the cat was doing. This isn't necessarily my window sill. Like I said, the cat was on the back of the couch looking out the window. Um, so you have to like do some artistic licenses and stuff, but it's inspired by a true story of a cat staring out the window, so that's good enough for me. I always end up with like so much charcoal in my hands. Looking forward, I like that. I love that actually. I love um I love looking for. I don't. I'm not a nostalgic person. I don't. Not seriously. Maybe a little bit. Yeah. I do think back a lot, but I don't want to be that kind of guy. I want to be a kind of guy that's always looking forward. Um, like the character of Don Draper. If you guys ever watched Mad Men, I love that show. That's such a great show. His character was always looking forward because he wasn't very happy with his past. He was always looking forward, and I just love that aspect of that character. Don Draper is just such a well written character. Easily, easily one of my favorite television characters of all time. But yeah, I like that aspect of him. Always looking forward, and I try to be that way. Like I try to stay, you know, I try to stay interested in new music. I try to not necessarily wear new clothes or be that fashion conscious and stuff like that, but not be stuck in the past. Like I don't want to wear the same clothes I wore back in the 90s. you know. So I want to be a little bit fashion conscious, listen to the latest music, kind of keep track of the trends. Just always be looking forward. Don't be stuck in the past or the don't be stuck in the present either. A lot of people say live in the moment and live in the now and stuff like that. Yeah, that's cool, but also, what's your goals, man? What are you looking forward to? There's something to be said about living in the moment. Um, that is good, but also you can't just be stuck in the moment. You can't be stuck in it because like you have to be thinking of what's next, which is a great thing to do this time of year. Like be thinking about the new year and what your goals are for the new year and what you want to accomplish. This whole channel started with a New Year's resolution. Some of you guys have been around since the beginning. You guys remember that? Like, basically, I started this because in 2023, I'm like, I want to live a more creative life. You know, spend more time being creative. Because, like, when you're a programmer, there's moments of creativity, but it's not like this. This was important to me. So yeah, be thinking about those New Year's resolutions. Be thinking about what you want different in 2020. Jeez, it's gonna be 2025 if we survive 2025. I was just thinking about like all the bad things in the world and stuff like that. But no, I mean, what is it? Nick Fury who says until the world ceases to spin, we're gonna or ceases to exist, we're going to continue as if it's going to, or something like that. I'm messing it up, but basically, like until the world actually ends, you should live as though it's going to continue spinning on. My New Year's resolution is also to draw more this coming year. Nice. Rome Dog too. Great. You guys are in great company because like that is coincidentally, even though I've been drawing all this time, that is my New Year's resolution. I want to continue improving my craft. So you guys are in great company. And if there's anything I can do to support you guys on your journey, you let me know. Like if there's a particular thing you want me to explore along with you, I am happy to because I love that aspect of the community, where we all support each other. So if that is your goal for 2025, I'm right there with you. I am here to support you guys in whatever you're doing. Let's do it. Let's pull this off. Kind of like get some little miracle cracks in this wood here. This is These are the kind of cracks that kind of just mysteriously seal themselves. Some of you guys know that inside joke. Got to respect the wood. Some cracks going in here. Like I want this to be like an older windowsill. I think we kind of want a little bit of a three-dimensional ledge there, so let me kind of carve that out. But yeah, use your eraser. It is just as much a tool in your tool belt as your pencil. You know, like that little line there I just created, that gives it like a little three-dimensionality, I guess. All right, so pretty happy with the cat, pretty happy with this. I need to get, oh, this is tough because I have to reach across my paper. I want like some lines here to kind of um, like really divide the areas. All right, now that I got that in, I can kind of get a little more heavy-handed with it. But I kind of want like some cracks up in here just to kind of define this edge. And same over here. It's tough drawing a straight line when you've been drinking. So, okay, pro tip, if you want to be a better artist, don't drink. Don't drink and draw. um, unless you're just having fun like I am. If you're having fun like I am, yeah, go ahead and have a glass of bourbon while you're drawing and stuff like that. But otherwise, you probably should not drink while you're drawing. Contrary to what, you know, people like me may tell you, it does not help with the creativity. It does not loosen you up. It does not. It doesn't do any of that. I just enjoy having a glass of bourbon while drawing with you fine people. But it is not a necessary piece. All my heroes were creative people who also drank. Like I want to say like Ernest Hemingway, you know, Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, and so not necessarily drinking, but they always had like issues with stuff like that. So that might be one of the reasons why I drink while I draw and stuff. But you don't have to. It does not help with the creativity or anything like that. It's not an essential part of the process. It's just something I enjoy doing. That line across. That continues across. All right, so like I said, this needs to be like kind of a curtain. Now, I'm not sure how to represent that. I guess I can kind of just darken behind it. I don't want to really kind of define the curtain too much. It's one of those sheer curtains, you know? So I want it to kind of have a soft edge here. And just maybe darken that in a little bit and then kind of come back and blur it. Yeah, great artist strength. Yeah, that's true. But I don't think it's part of the creativity, creative aspect of it. So like I don't feel like people need to like, some people like smoke marijuana, for example, just to be creative and stuff like that. I think that that's just them wanting to smoke marijuana. It has nothing to do with the creativity. Um, some of my most creative moments are when I'm like geeked out on caffeine from like drinking coffee too much during the day. So it goes both ways. So this is slightly lighter because it's behind that curtain. So that's one way that I think I can use to represent the curtain. Is to kind of like have a little bit of this like lighter, in fact, make it a little bit lighter actually. So that bar kind of going through, but much lighter. So now it kind of looks a bit like a curtain, I think. So like it's all about like how much information do you need to convey what these things are. I think this is enough to convey that it's a curtain, one of those like sheer curtains, one of those things that you put up and you hope your neighbor can't see through, but they can anyway, and it's like a little bit awkward. Those kind of curtains. Yeah. So this all can be a little bit darker. So I'm gonna try to. All right. So I'm gonna get a bunch of, yeah. It's gonna dip my hand over here in this like charcoal powder. So the way you end up with charcoal powder is by sharpening your pencil. So like I've got, maybe real quick. So I've got this piece of sandpaper here, and then I use it to sharpen my pencils, right? So not only do I get a sharpened pencil out of it, but I also get this like charcoal powder that I can use to like create these like little subtle effects. Does that make sense? So it's like, use every tool in your tool belt. Be creative on the technique as well. All right. So that looks pretty good, but it's also like not as defined as I want. So I'm gonna, come in at some wood grain streaks. Let's see. Just create some definition in there so that it's not just like a blur. All right. Anyway, um, if you zoom into the kitty, it looks like it has a face on the back of its head. Cool. I like that. Fix this part here. Every time somebody draws attention to something, I want to fix it. There you go. Really, you got to be relaxed to paint, in my opinion. I need the time and space. Yeah. To that, again, everybody's situation is different, but what I found is that I needed to make the time. Like, there's a reason why I do this consistently. Well, I try to, sometimes I have to cancel or whatever, but I try to consistently do this every Tuesdays and Thursdays is because sometimes I really don't want to. Sometimes I do not want to actually come in here and I have no ideas. I don't know what I'm going to work on. Maybe I've had a rough day and I don't really feel much like chatting or whatever. Um, there are some days when I have to like really talk myself into it, but it's important. It's important to do that. And so from that standpoint, I would say you have to make time. You have to make yourself do these things sometimes. That's how you do it. And if you make yourself do it enough times, um, it becomes habit. It becomes like, oh man, I've got to get home to make sure that I do this live stream on Thursday because that's where I'm supposed to be, right? And if I'm not there doing the live stream on Thursday, then I'm out of place. I'm not where I'm supposed to be at that day, if that makes sense. So, it's like little mental tricks. I am so full of like all these like little mental tricks that things I tell myself. Some of them's true, some of them's not. Some of them, I'm just basically conning myself every day. Like I'm convincing myself to do things that I don't necessarily want to do, and I'm happy that I do because then I get things done. Like then I'm then I practice my art for that week, which is cool. I get to hang out with you guys, which is cool. It's all great. Discipline, exactly. So long story short, gotta have discipline. All right. Let's see how we doing on time. Oh, we're doing great on time. All right. So I think I want them looking at something that's pretty abstract now. So like this is done enough. Like we can call this done if we wanted to, but I kind of want there to be like a little bit of a to help sell the idea that we are in wintertime. We've got a little bit of snow forming through here. In fact, let me get some snow up here as well. So we got some snow piled up. I don't know why I did that, but anyway, we got some snow piled up. But another way to really sell the idea that it's wintertime is to kind of like put in branches that have no leaves on them. So like if you just have like some twiggy kind of branches coming out and stuff like a little tree outside. Like I said, this isn't exactly like perfectly the scene that I have in my mind of my cat staring out the window looking at these birds eating off the bird feeder. But it kind of is like that. I have this tree in my front yard where the bird feeder hangs from. So this is kind of like a representation of that. So sometimes you can't capture the perfect essence of what you're trying to convey, but this is good enough. And then, probably should spend some time thinking about what your tree looks like, but I'm just kind of like freehanding it a little bit. And you don't have to be like super detailed on this. Again, it's just to kind of represent that there is something back here that does not have leaves on it, which is basically what winter is. Trees without leaves. snow, things like that. So I'm not going to get really super detailed on this, and nor should I. In fact, here in a moment, I'm going to blend all this out. But yeah, you don't really need much. Hey, Marvel, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. How you been doing, Marvel? Hopefully you're looking forward to the holiday season. Hopefully things are going well. Yeah, Marble's pretty cool. For those of you who don't know, Marble Rose and who else? Rome Dog has its own channel. Marble Rose has her own channel. I encourage you guys to check them out. Marble is a young artist who really likes drawing original characters, like characters she thinks up, which is awesome. So if you want to support young artists by visiting their channels, I encourage you guys to. I like to give people shout outs when they hop into my chat. It encourages them to come back and hop into my chat more often. So if you want, if any artists out there, you're watching this later on and you want free shout outs, hop into my chat and let me know. We'll give you free shout outs. By free shout outs, I just mean like, for the 5 people who watch my stream. But actually, it's not that bad today. For the people who watch my stream, maybe some of them will be nice enough and go your way. Kind of cool. I always forget to ask people to like and subscribe and all that stuff. I need to get in the habit of that. Maybe I'll start doing that next year. I don't know. I'm just here to draw. I'm not really here to promote much. Hope you're doing all right too. Thank you so much for the shout out. Yeah, I mean you definitely earned it. I really like your art, Marble. I think it's very creative, and I like the style of your characters and stuff. I can picture you doing like a whole collection of characters in that style. I really could. Like The Simpsons. That's kind of like a dated reference. That's a little bit old, but like a whole like a town of people who are drawn the way that you draw. I think that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, The Simpsons is old. I actually watched an episode of The Simpsons. So like over Halloween, I actually went back and watched a lot of the Tree Houses of Horror. So that got me like, oh, I wonder what The Simpsons are like now. I can't believe they're still around. It's been like 30, 40 years, something like that. It's crazy. All right. So I'm pretty happy with this little trick. So, you know, I think this I think this captures a mood. It may not be the best art in the world, but I feel like it captures a mood. I feel like it captures a nice mood too. Like I feel cozy looking at this, even though it's all like bleak outside and everything like that. I feel cozy inside with this cat. So to me, this is a cozy, really nice little story. Let me try something here. All right, so this tree also needs some snow on it. Again, you would normally use like a kneadable eraser. I'm stuck using this because piss poor planning. Should have went out and bought a kneadable eraser. They're not even expensive. It's like, and I was at the store earlier today. I was literally at the grocery store picking up some food, and they had the erasers there, and it just didn't occur to me. I suck. But yeah, you put these like little marks in here. That's how you get snow. Maybe like a little clump of snow over here, and then snow actually falls outside the window, so you can put in like little streaks. Not too much. You want to keep those kind of subtle, but get some of that. And then I have an idea. I don't know. Let's see, how can I pull this off? I don't have like a palette here or anything like that, but I'm gonna go a little bit mixed media here. I've got this like acrylic paint. I haven't messed with it forever. I don't know if this stuff is dried up or if there's still some yep, there's some liquid paint. That's probably a bit much um, for what I want to do. I just want to kind of like flick it like a, let's see if this is going to work here. Actually, oh, that's a bit much, but I just want to put some like specks here. I don't want that there. That's on the inside. All right, I need to kind of keep it inside the window here. Let's see, just kind of put some specks in there. Just to kind of convey like the snow. It's a little bit harder than I thought it would be, but we'll get there. Just kind of, it kind of creates like a little bit of texture too. That's kind of cool. I'm like ending up with like paint everywhere, but oh well. This is how art is. Sometimes it's messy. There's a lot of paint on here for just this little effect I'm doing, but whatever. Anyway, just want to kind of get a few little specks in here. Let me kind of dab this a little bit. You know, you can use it like a gel pen for the same thing or whatever, or not even do it at all. But I think that these like little white highlights and stuff are, I think they add to it. A bit more than I thought, but that's okay. Add a little bit over here just to whiten up that the cat. But I do like the cat. I think the cat looks really good here. Willie says that looks awesome. All right, cool. I'll dab this a little bit more. There's gonna be some like maybe if I like had some water in it or something like that, I could splatter a little bit more. But this is fine. The idea to just like have some snow falling out there, some big flakes. Some, as Bob Ross would say, happy little flakes. Again, this was inspired by my cat looking out the window at a bird feeder. I would love to draw like a bird feeder in here, but I don't think I would be able to pull that off. So we're going to leave that off and just pretend like there's a bird feeder out there outside of the view of the canvas. I don't normally like to mix media like this, but you know, it works. Let me get this clump out of the way. I'll throw this away later. That's way too much paint for what I'm trying to do here. I just wanted some nice little subtle effects. Problem is, I didn't plan on painting, so I don't have any water set up or anything like that, but that's okay. Get some little speckles over here in the corners of these. You know how like Windows frost and stuff. That's kind of what I'm trying to do here. And like I said, this is acrylic paint. Acrylic paint works really well with charcoal. Other things I probably could use is like maybe some soft pastel through here. Probably work with that a little bit, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'm liking this. Um, I'm actually pretty close to being done because I don't want to do too much on this. The idea was just to have like a little bit of fun and create like a little nice little scene. I'm gonna tinker with some little bits here and there, but for the most part, we are almost done. I always like to whenever I think I'm done, I like to take a like a little swig and just kind of like thing. I feel like this looks like a a curtain, but I'm gonna mess with it just a little bit here, especially down here. Create like a bit of a hard edge. I do like how it kind of just comes down, but let's emphasize that a little bit more so that people know that it drapes. None of this is necessary. It's just, you know, adding little bits. Gonna create like a bit more of an edge there. So I do like backlighting some things. I was a little concerned going into this that like the cat might be too small. It may not be visually interesting enough to carry the picture, but I think this works. And I do like how it does emphasize the light from the outside coming in, kind of lighting up the front of the cat, which you don't see. You actually see it does kind of look like there's a face there, right? So like that's an eye, that's an eye, that's a nose. That's not intentional. So let me fix that so that it doesn't look like that because I don't want it. I don't want that to distract. So like there's sometimes these little things that you have to come back and address after the fact just because you didn't intentionally put those in there. There you go. Just kind of redirect that a little bit so that it looks less like a face. It still looks like a face. Oh, anyway. But yeah, so the face of the cat is actually on the other side. Marvel says it's so pretty. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Um, so in hindsight, if I had to do this a little bit differently, I probably would make it a little less black and white. Like I'm thinking if this was like a soft blue back here, which I could have done with pastels, that would really, really look nice. And I kind of regret that I didn't do that, but that's all right. Sometimes hindsight's good. Like this could be a study for a bigger piece. Like you could you could do something like this just to kind of see how you want a layout to be for like a painting, for example. Um, so I'm cool with it. You know, if nothing else, this channel is about having fun and experimenting and trying out different things and stuff. Like it's meant to be relaxing and not take itself too seriously. So gotta get that snow in there, I want it to be cold. So cold out there, right, Kitty? That's why you're so happy that you don't sneak out the door when I have it open. My cat tries to sneak out whenever I let the dogs out. Um, so the cat wants to get outside, but if the cat ever did get outside, it would immediately like start whining, like, "Oh, I'm so afraid." They act like really tough when they're looking through the windows. My cat, but then like if they ever found themselves in the outside world, they would they would not survive. They have no they have no outdoor survival like like skills or anything like that. Oh, kid's in the house. Hey, how's it going, kid? Appreciate the compliment. Yeah, I think we're about done. I'm just basically adding like little subtle details at this point. But there's nothing wrong with that. The more details you add, the more the painting or the picture comes to life. You know, I need to get back into painting. I miss painting. Where do I put this? I'm gonna put that here, and then I wonder if I have. Yeah, I got this little small thing here. I really want to. I'm going to try digital art in the new year. Digital art. Okay. Digital art is fine enough, I guess. I like traditional art, but yeah, digital art. The great thing about digital art is that they're super cheap. Oh, kid, sorry, I missed this comment by kid. I'm late. My mom's house was broken into. Dealing with the cops all evening. I am so sorry to hear that. Um, hope that works out well. Man, that sucks. Sorry, I missed that comment. Uh, that is way more important than my stupid little art show. So hopefully everybody involved is fine, and hopefully the guy didn't get away with anything. It's Christmas. That kind of stuff happens. It sucks. Just getting like a little bit more of a highlight on this kitty on the backside here. Some fur highlights. Like none of this is necessary. I'm just kind of like enjoying it. You don't need to hurry up, Jimmy. That's funny. I appreciate that, kid. Thank you. That's hilarious. No, I mean I'm so sorry. That's like oh they did catch him. Cool. Oh there you go. Hopefully she didn't lose anything then. Um, it does kind of suck that that kind of stuff happens a lot more around Christmas. It's a good thing that you said it was your mom. It's a good thing that you live near your mom and we're able to help out. That's cool. Little subtle fur. All right, cool. Okay. Um, hmm. I do think that I'm about done. Like at this point, it's all just like detailed features and stuff. I gotta remember wash these brushes. Don't let me forget. Put these off to the side. Oh, an hour away. That sucks. Well, um, hopefully, well, it sounds like they caught the guy. Hopefully, he didn't get away with anything, and everybody gets their stuff back and all that stuff, and you know, hopefully he does this time and comes out a better man or woman. I guess there's women burglars. Details on this kitty. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So yeah, I think this is about done. Like I said, it's just a matter of like putting in little details at this point. I'm pretty happy with this. I think it captures a nice little mood. It makes I don't know. It feels kind of cozy to me, and it feels like winter, which is kind of the idea. I wanted to create a couple of winter pictures. Um, in hindsight, I think general improvements I would make is I would add a little bit of like a splotch of color and stuff like that, just so it's not so black and white. I feel like I could do that without taking away from the general mood of the picture. So maybe I'll try that next time I try to do a picture like this. But yeah, you got you know looking out the window, got the snow going around. It's pretty cool. I'll catch a grime and go get him in jail. You don't mess with mom. Rome Dog's gonna go take care of this guy. I love it. Very cozy. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Thursday night. Hopefully your weekend goes well. Like I said, I think I'm going to be doing some Christmas shopping this weekend. Catch up on some of that stuff. I haven't bought basically anything. I'm going to end up with charcoal all over my face. Um, I haven't bought basically anything. It kind of sucks. Like my entire week was shot last week, but I'm in the mood now. I want to go out there. I want to hear some jingle bells and uh, you know uh, maybe I'll get some art supplies for myself, do some stocking stuffing on my own end. That'd be awesome. But anyway, kid, I hope everything works out with your mom. Everybody else, I hope everything works out great. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope you get out there, enjoy the holiday spirit. Some of the faces I haven't seen in a while, Marvel, good to see you again. But yeah, I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Um, let's see. Hopefully, you guys like this picture. But yeah, I will be back on Tuesday. I think my dad, he's in his 70s. He's itching to draw. You guys wanted him to join me on this show. I think I will bring him in either I don't know, like Tuesday or Thursday. We'll see. But I'll bring him on next week, and it'll be awesome. So until then, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Have a great weekend. Go create some art. All right, see you guys. Bye. Thanks.